Hi everyone, today I'm going to be making a Chinese New Year inspired arrangement. So I have my red colors, some gold colors, and just mixed greenery. And I'm going to be using this container here. I just thought it would be a nice contrast with the red and gold colors. And I'm going to be using wire to make this arrangement. So it's not flower foam or anything like that. So this is going to be my base, and I'm going to show you how I green this. So I have that pretty firmly, securely in my container. This is actually a ceramic container that I'm using. So I'm gonna go ahead and start greening. And again, I'm gonna start at the center and work my way around. And what I'm gonna do is, just like in the last video, is go ahead and cross my greens. So I'm gonna just continue the pattern. The wire is gonna give me a little bit more stability, because this is a bigger arrangement. Instead of me just trying to put a bunch of greens in, the wire is gonna help provide some more stability for this arrangement. So I'm gonna start off with this eucalyptus. I've already got some pre-cut here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start in the center and work my way around. And just like in the last video, I shared how it's important to let the flowers and greens lean in the direction that they naturally would. So I'm just looking which way they lean and just going ahead and putting them in a position where they can lean that way. So this one's a little bit straight, so I'm going to just go ahead and put it straight in the center there. This one will go here. There we go. Go ahead and turn it. I'm going to replace this one because it is kind of moving around a little bit. Need to take off some of those greens too. Give it a cleaner way to get inside here. There we go. And even though this is a smaller container, I do have quite a bit of flowers. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but I'm going to try to get as much as I can into the vase without it looking too compact. But I just want to give it a nice fullness so you can see all those beautiful colors. Now I'm going to move on to these leaves here. And again, just looking towards where they lean and making sure they have a spot to go where they would naturally. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start using my flowers now, and then add greens if needed as I go. So I'm going to go ahead and start at my center, and with this arrangement, I'm not going to be afraid to let some flowers be lower in the center and some higher. I'm just going to try to give it some nice dimension and some depth with these colors. So I don't want it to look too uniform. I just want it to look, just have more dimension. So you'll see what I mean as I get going. So I'm going to start with one of these beautiful red roses towards the center. Oh, let me cut that a little bit more. I'm going to add in an orchid here. And just like with the greens, I want to let the flowers be in a position that they would naturally lean into. I've got these beautiful peach roses as well. Some Gerber daisies. These will be a little trickier just because they're so stiff, and I just want to make sure I find a good spot to highlight them. And I'm making sure too that my stems are nice and clean. Since I am using wire, I want to make sure that I can put the stems in as easily as possible. So I'm making sure there's no frayed edges on here. In case I have to move it around, then it'll be easier if the stem is clean. I'm gonna go ahead and add this one to the center as well. I'll turn it around so you can see. This greenery, I'm gonna just put it off to the side there. So there's that. I'm gonna add another orchid on this side. And I'm making sure too that I'm poking the stems in all the way to the bottom of the container or to the side of the container. I just want to make sure that they're in water. Added another red rose there. And now I'm going to add in my last red, yellow orchid. I can see this greenery. I want to move it to a different section. Just move it over a little bit so it can hang off a little more to the side. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and place this orchid right here. This way they're not competing for the same spot. Turn that around so you can see. I'm going to keep adding my peach roses now. This one has quite a bit of thorns on it, so just went ahead and cleaned it up. And I want to balance the color too. I don't want it to just all be on one side, although you can do that color blocking. It's really beautiful as well. I'll make another arrangement like that in the future. Okay. So this is the progress so far. Now I'm going to add in these beautiful red orchids. There we go. So you can see where those are now. One more red rose here. You can see that there. I'm going to go ahead and trim this one back a little bit since it's looking a little full here. This eucalyptus. I just want it to look nice and clean, and I don't want any of the flowers or greens competing for a spot. I just want them to be nice and free. So I'll go ahead and add this one just at the center here. And again, just cleaning up those stems, making sure that they can have a nice entrance into the vase, since I'm using the wire to secure it. If I had to pull it out and it was all frayed, it would be a little bit difficult. I'm going to give that one some height there. So I really like the way that this is turning out so far. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the Gerber daisies yet, although they do look pretty. I just don't want it to be too crowded in there. But I'll go ahead and give them a shot. If I don't like it, I'll just take them out. I just want to make sure that I can get them nice and tight in the vase, and where it's not, I want to make sure it gets into the water. So there's one, and I think I like this spot for another one here. Just has a really nice red tone to it. This one came out of place. But again, I'm just gently trying to find a spot for it in the wire. There we go. That's better. All right, so I really like the way that's looking, and I'm gonna add in these pine flowers. I feel like this, even though it's not a true red, it's almost like a deep purple color, but I feel like it just helps bring out some of these other colors that we have going in the arrangement. You can see that there. And I think that's good on the flowers, and I'm going to add in my fillers. I have some wax flower here. I have like a coffee color and a red color. And again, I'm just cleaning up the stems, making sure that I can give them a nice place in the arrangement. There we go. That went in nice and easy, and I can feel it going into the arrangement and the water. There we go. And nothing is too flimsy. I'm turning it, and I can feel it's getting more secure with each stem that I put in. And I'm going to add a little bit here in the center. And now I'm just going to go ahead and see where else I can add some greens just to make it stand out a little bit more. There we go, I've added a few pieces there. And then making sure that the greens and the flowers again go through the wire, but also into the water. I'm gonna go ahead and just lean this one a little bit to the opposite side. There we go. And I'm pretty pleased with the way that this turned out. So I'm going to turn it around so you can see all the angles and all the colors. Red and gold are very popular during this time of year. And so I just wanted to use different shades of flowers that would highlight that. So there you have it, a Chinese New Year inspired arrangement.